It's your boy Busy, back at it again, and there's been a huge shift in the Pokemon TCG, and today we are going to cover that shift. So, basically, as you may know, over the last few months, there's just been a massive shift in the Pokemon TCG. It is becoming more and more difficult to source Pokemon cards in the wild. You know, you go to Walmart, you go to Target, you go to fucking Kmart or whatever is still around, and you're looking for these Pokemon cards, and you find the shelves completely barren. You may find one or two battle decks, you know, maybe if you're lucky a little battle deck, maybe a little Hawaii 2024. Everything is typically absolutely ripped and dipped, just completely barren, just a wasteland. You know, I think everyone just about knows that. At this point, it's very difficult to get Pokemon. And it's really coming down to two things, supply and demand. We've had a lot of scalpers, a lot of resellers from the, you know, the sneaker market. They've been, those sneakerheads have been getting into the Pokemon space, okay? That's basically, you know, TDLI, sneakerheads in the Pokemon space, okay? 90 to 95% of these scalpers are, in fact, sneakerheads, just scalpers, resellers from the shoe market. And they've essentially gotten so wealthy on the sneaker market that they've said, hey, you know what? I see Pokemon. What is that over there? I see Pokemon. That looks like a pretty big IP. Let's go ahead, grab onto that, get our little sticky fingers, our little dirty tendrils into Pokemon, and that's basically what they do. They took all that money, all that capital, they found all the Pokemon in the wild, and they scooped and duped. You know, there's going to be a premium because it's just not at MSRP. You're not finding it out in the wild at MSRP, so the scalpers are doubling their money, and they know they can. GameStop just recently announced that they're creating a whatnot. They're getting on whatnot. They're going to be scalping their own brick and mortar stores to be bringing those products to you at an exorbitantly higher price over there on whatnot. So just be careful. Some people are saying, oh, is GameStop reputable? Is GameStop even reputable? I think they're pretty reputable. GameStop's, they seem reputable. Have you been to a GameStop? Most of the people that work at a GameStop, they don't give a shit about anything they're selling. They might care about one thing in the whole store. You know, they might be like, oh, see that little, that's the new Digivice. You see that new Digivice? I like that. Everything else, they couldn't give a fuck about. They don't care about none of that stuff. You use GameStop to send your cards off to grading. It's probably got stolen. Yeah, so, allegedly. This is all alleged. Everyone's moving to whatnot. Everyone's moving to rip and dip. People are ripping. People are shipping. It's a huge market. There's, you know, there's eyes on the prize. People are coming from all walks of life, and they're putting their money right here in Pokemon. Even me, you know, over the last 2 or 3 years, I've been getting bigger and bigger. My collection has been growing. I've been, you know, sourcing more cards from Japan, trying to get, you know, more and more cards for my collection, just super unique cards that you just can't get anywhere else. I've gotten so good at sourcing that's why I created my whatnot, is because it's a way for me to basically just funnel amazing cards to people that can just sit in their chair, sit on their toilet, and just swipe all day long. You know what I mean? Get some beautiful deals. We're not here talking about my whatnot. Use link in the description to get $15 off for those new accounts. We're not here talking about that. We're here talking about the rest of the market, and it's getting tough. Scalpers are scalping, rippers are ripping, shippers are shipping, and it's just getting absolutely difficult to find those cards. What's even stranger is actual LGSs, actual local game stores, are finding it more and more difficult to get full allocations. You know, they're getting allocations for the ETBs. They're getting allocations for sealed booster boxes, and it's not even, you get 3 products. You get 4. Oh, you want some battle boxes? Here's 4 total. You want some ETBs? Here's 8. You get 8 total to serve your entire district, your entire city, whatever you got going on. They'll be fine with this. It looks like my mustache has a mustache. I don't know what's going on here. Anyways, so you know, it's just getting hard. I would say go out there for yourself. Do a little hunt. Do a little looking for yourself. See if you can find Pokemon. If you can, hell, let me know. Leave a comment in this video if you found some Pokemon. And if you did, shoot, I might be buying them from you, baby. But seriously, it's getting hard out there. Local game stores aren't getting that allocation. A lot of this product is going to rippers and the shippers, because once you reach a certain threshold on the amount you're purchasing, you can then become a Japanese store. You can become a storefront at that point. And once you're a storefront, you're getting allocation early. You're getting those boxes early. You're buying cases by the truckload, baby. And once you're getting cases by the truckload, and you got a stranglehold on the region. The local game stores, you're sort of pushing them out of business is what's sort of happening. Brick and mortar, they're having to pay a lot of money in that overhead for the electricity, for the building, for the employees, keeping everything, everyone's satisfied. It costs a lot of money to run an LGS. So for people to be able to basically open up a store, open up an online, get huge allocations, turn their basement into just a warehouse dedicated to Pokemon, and they just start ripping and shipping, or just shipping sealed. I'm not saying this is bad, but for them to be able to get ahead of the LGSs, for them to be able to get a foot up, a leg up, even though these LGSs have been purchasing for years and years, 10, 12 years, 15, 20 years, and we got these guys ripping and shipping brand new. We got some brand new partners over here, and I don't like them. These rippers and shippers are getting the allocation over the LGSs, and I think that's really what's happening. Since the supply is so low and demand is so high, the scalpers are coming in. This is their moment, their bubble. This is their time to shine. And they're taking advantage of the market. I mean, that is what happens in a capitalist market. I know you may hate them for what they're doing. Hey, but them babies, they're eating. You cannot blame them for finding a spot in the market and absolutely filling that spot. And you can really, at the end of the day, only blame the Pokemon company. If you want more product, you want more cards, they got to print more cards. If the demand goes up, but the supply stays the same, then that means the supply is actually going down. In order to get that to work, in order to make that function, you got to increase the supply. It happens with money. Look at money. The treasury, as people have new jobs, more jobs, they got to print more money. More money in circulation means more money being spent. It's a system. It's a freaking system. Of course they're aware of it. Pokemon is aware of this. They know that if they print more, the prices will drop. Demand will drop. The excitement will dwindle. Because as it stands, it's an exciting thing to see Pokemon in the wild. You find a little Pokemon card in the wild, or Pokepack in the wild. Hell, it's like finding the real thing. You might as well see a real Pikachu. Throw a ball at that. Go ahead and pick it up, baby. It's yours. Because as it stands, it's getting more and more difficult to find these cards. I look all day long. I'm out there hunting. I'm hunting all day long. Only thing I'm scalping is a waste of time. So, I find it easier to just get online, TCG Player, whatnot, eBay, all these things, all these places, beautiful places. It's just the tip of your finger. There you go. You could even try going into your local game store. They've probably got pretty comparable deals, pretty good rates comparatively to the actual scalpers. You could probably get a better rate at the LGS than you could from the scalpers. Not only that, you could probably trade in your personal collection, trade in some cards out of your personal collection to the LGS in order to get some store credit to get the things you really want. It's just that simple and that beautiful. If you don't want the scalpers to succeed, avoid the scalpers. Quit spending money, quit buying cards. You see a scalper, avoid them like the plague. Pretend they got leprosy. Get out of there, baby. And the scalpers will dwindle. They will dry up. Their market will essentially seize and grind to a halt. They'll be dumping that product as quickly as they can. You just got to leave them alone. Let them scalpers be. They'll learn soon enough. Let me know what you guys think. Do you find Pokemon cards out in the wild? Do you see Pokemon cards? Do you find sealed collections, sealed booster boxes, sealed ETBs at the Walmart, at Target, wherever you shop? Is it at MSRP? Do you go to GameStop and the shelves are empty? Do you go Walmart, shelves are empty? Maybe your LGS is empty. Maybe they can't even get an allocation. Let me know down in the comments. Let's get a little conversation started. Me personally, I cannot find Pokemon cards. It's just impossible. You got a better chance of flying away. Let me know what you guys think. I will leave a link to my whatnot down in the description. Feel free to use that code to get you $15 off towards your first purchases over there on whatnot. Yeah, if you've wondered where I've been the last fucking month, basically just been dedicating time to the whatnot, been getting the whatnot, sorted, been getting everything together. Absolutely beautiful. We hit 5,000 sales. Thanks to each and every one of you over there on the whatnot. If you're watching, thank you guys so much. And come hang out on the Discord. I will leave the link to the Discord down in the description as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that little bell to be notified for future videos, and stick around on the channel with some of these fine videos here. And I'll see you next time. Peace, peace, peace.